Greetings to all. Welcome back to online class. Social. Okay. Today we are going to learn a lesson 10. Lesson 10 Social Transformation in Tamil Nadu. Social Transformation in Tamil Nadu. Before that, previously we have learned 6th lesson 7, 8 and 9. Sixth lesson, early revolts against British rule in Tamil Nadu, anti-colonial movements and the birth of nationalism, Gandhian phase, freedom struggle in Tamil Nadu. Okay, and today this is the last lesson from history part. Okay, 6th to 10th. And after finishing this lesson, I'll take lesson 1, that is European history, outbreak of World War I and its aftermath. Okay, and its aftermath. Today, this lesson, the title of the lesson once again, Social Transformation in Tamil Nadu. Transformation means changes. Transformation means change. And with the help of this lesson, we are going to learn and we are going to get knowledge about the social transformation of modern Tamil Nadu and to know the different social reform movements in Tamil Nadu, and we can understand the ideas of social reformers. Okay, first of all, regarding introduction, in the later half of the 18th century, the Europeans established their political power over India. But by the beginning of the 19th century, they decided to annex India. They decided to capture India. So they reordered Indian society. For that, new revenue settlements were made. Okay, new revenue settlements were made. The Europeans were influenced by British utilitarian ideas, that is பயன்பாட்டு கோட்பாடுகள், and evangelicals. Evangelicals means Christian principles. So, the Europeans were influenced by British utilitarian ideas and evangelicals. So, they tried to impose their cultural superiority over the Indians. This created reaction among the Indians. Reaction was there among the Indians. During 19th century, educated Indians from different parts of our country felt the humiliation. They felt the humiliation. So they searched their socio-cultural identity from their past. Yet they understood that there were some merits in the colonial arguments. There were some merits in the colonial arguments. And they were ready to reform. Thus, the social and religious reform movements came into modern India. Social and religious reform movements. This particular historical development is known as Indian Renaissance. Indian Renaissance. Renaissance is an ideological and cultural incident. Renaissance is an ideological and cultural incident. It is closely tied to modernity. This Renaissance is closely tied to modernity, rationalism, and the progressive movement. Modernity, rationalism, that is Pagatharivu, and the progressive movement. Critical thinking is at its root. This Renaissance kindled creative energy in the society. And knowledge in the field of language, literature, philosophy, music, painting, architecture, etc. Okay, knowledge in the field of knowledge, that is language, knowledge in the field of language, literature, philosophy, music, painting, architecture, etc. Next, we will see Tamil Renaissance. Tamil Renaissance. The cultural hegemony, this word already came many times, that is domination. The cultural domination of a colonialism and the rise of humanism brought several changes in the socio-cultural life of the Indians. Okay, cultural hegemony and the rise of humanism brought many changes in the socio-cultural life of Indians. Modern Tamil Nadu also experienced this historical transition. Okay, modern Tamil Nadu also experienced this historical transition. That is, historical transition was there in Tamil Nadu also. Tamil language and culture also played an important role. Tamil language and culture also played an important role. Okay. The introduction of a printing press. Introduction of printing press. Linguistic research on Dravidian languages developed the process of Tamil Renaissance. Okay, printing press, linguistic research on Dravidian languages, both of them developed the process of Tamil Renaissance. After the advent of printing press, steps were taken to publish religious literatures only religious literatures. But gradually, that is step by step, it changed. And later, secular books also published. Secular means non-religious books. Non-religious books also published. Next, advent of printing technology. Advent of printing technology. Tamil was the first non-European language to print. One more question. Tamil was the first non-European language to print. In 1578, Tamil book Thambiran Vanakkam. What's the name of the book? Thambiran Vanakkam was published from Goa. In 1709, a full-fledged printing press had been established in Trankubar, that is Tarangambadi. It was started by Siegenbalg. Thanks to Siegenbalg for that. Tirukkural was one of the earliest Tamil literary texts. It was published in 1812. This created interest among the Tamil scholars to publish more ancient Tamil classics. Ancient Tamil classics means Chevial Tamil Ilakkiyangal. Okay. In the 19th century, Tamil scholars like C.W. Thamodaranar and U.V. Swaminathan, okay, C.W. Thamodaranar and U.V. Swaminathan spent their lifetime, they spent their whole life to rediscover the Tamil classics. C.W. Thamodaranar collected and edited different palm leaf manuscripts of Tamil grammar and literature. His editions are Tolkapiyam, Veeracholiyam, Irayanar Agapporul, Ilakkana Vilakkam, Kalittogai and Chulamani. Okay. He said, what are his editions? Tolkapiyam, Veeracholiyam, Irayanar Agapporul, Ilakkana Vilakkam, Kalittogai and Chulamani. U.V. Swaminathan was a student of Meenakshi Sundaranar. Okay. Meenakshi Sundaranar, he was a guru of Swaminathan. U.V. Swaminathan took efforts to publish classical textbooks. Okay. They are Sivaka Chindamani, Pattupattu, சிலப்பதிகாரம், புறநானூறு, புறப்பொருள் வெண்பா மாலை, மணிமேகலை, ஐங்குறுநூறு அண்ட் பதிற்று பத்து. ஓகே, சீவக சிந்தாமணி, பத்துப்பாட்டு, சிலப்பதிகாரம், புறநானூறு, புறப்பொருள் வெண்பா மாலை, மணிமேகலை, ஐங்குறுநூறு அண்ட் பதிற்று பத்து. These ancient literary texts created an awareness among the Tamil people about their language, tradition, literature and religion. Okay, the ancient literary texts created an awareness among the Tamil people about their language, tradition, literature and religion also. Modern Tamils, here Tamils means Tamilargal, Tamil people, okay, founded their social and cultural identity on the ancient Tamil classics. Ancient Tamil classics, that is collectively called Sangam literature. Okay, Sangam literature. In the year 1816, F.W. Ellis, E.L.L.I.S., founded the College of Fort St. George. He created a theory that is the South Indian languages belonged to a separate family. South Indian languages belonged to a separate family. There was no relationship between South Indian family and Indo-Aryan family of languages. South Indian family of languages and Indo-Aryan family of languages. Robert Caldwell, Caldwell, Robert Caldwell wrote a book, A Comparative Grammar of the Dravidian or South Indian Family Languages. Okay, in which year? No, in 1856. In his book, he expanded the argument of F.W. Ellis. Okay, expanded the argument of F.W. Ellis. He established the close affinity between Dravidian languages. Okay, he established the close affinity between the Dravidian languages. But this close affinity was not in the Sanskrit languages. He established the antiquity of Tamil. Understand? Antiquity of Tamil. That is Tamilin Pazhamai. Okay, Tamilin Pazhamai, like that. Tamil intellectuals, that is அறிவார்ந்த தமிழர்கள் of this period, that is Tamil intellectuals of this period, identified the fundamental differences between Tamil, Dravidian, egalitarian means samatvam, egalitarian, and Sanskrit, Aryan, Brahmanism. Okay, so Tamil intellectuals of this period identified the fundamental differences between Tamil, Dravidian, egalitarian, and Sanskrit, Aryan, Brahmanism. Okay, they argued that Tamil was the language of Dravidian people. They are non-Brahmins. Their social life was casteless. There was no caste. Gender sensitized. Understand? Gender difference is not there. And egalitarian. Samatva. Tamil Renaissance helped the growth of Dravidian consciousness. Okay, Dravidian consciousness in Tamil Nadu. These ideas are exemplified in the play. Play means, drama. Manonmaniyam. And that play was written by P. Sundaranar. So, he was called by the name Manonmaniyam P. Sundaranar. Okay. Ramalinga Adigal was popularly known as Vallalar. Vallalar questioned the Hindu religious orthodoxy. Pazhamaivadam. Hindu religious orthodoxy. Okay. Abraham Pandidar gave prominence, that is importance, to Tamil music. Abraham Pandidar gave prominence to Tamil music. One more question. Okay. He published books on the history of Tamil music. History of Tamil music. C.W. தாமோதரனார், U.V. சுவாமிநாதர், திரு வி. கல்யாணசுந்தரம், பரிதிமார் கலைஞர், மறைமலை அடிகள், சுப்பிரமணிய பாரதி and Bharatidasan contributed to the revival of Tamil literature. They worked hard for the revival of Tamil literature. Who and all? C.W. தாமோதரனார், U.V. சுவாமிநாதர், திரு வி. கல்யாணசுந்தரம், பரிதிமார் கலைஞர், மறைமலை அடிகள், சுப்பிரமணிய பாரதி and Bharatidasan. Okay. M. Singaravelar promoted communism and socialism. Promoted communism and socialism to counter colonialism, to face colonialism. Understand? Pandita Ayodhidasa and Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy held high the radical philosophy, பகுத்தறிவு radical philosophy, to defend, to protect the right of socially unprivileged, that means உரிமைகள் மறுக்கப்பட்ட, marginalized, that means ஒதுக்கப்பட்ட section of the people. Okay. Pandita Ayodhidasa and Periyar E.V. Ramaswamy held high the radical philosophy to defend the right of socially underprivileged, marginalized section of the people. Now, V.G. Suryanarayana Sastri. V.G. Suryanarayana Sastri is also known as Paridimar Kalaignар. That's a Tamil name. Okay, Paridimar Kalaignar. V.G. Suryanarayana Sastri was born near Madurai. He was a Tamil professor at the Madras Christian College. He was one of the scholars to identify the influence of Sanskrit language on Tamil language. So he adopted a pure Tamil name for himself. Paridimar Kalaignar. So V.G. Subramania Sastri was called as Paridimar Kalaignar. Okay, Paridimar Kalaignar. Next, he argued that Tamil is a classical language. He demanded that the University of Madras should not call Tamil a vernacular language. Okay. University of Madras should not call Tamil a vernacular language. Vernacular means regional language. He liked Western literary models. So, he introduced the sonnet form in Tamil. Sonnet means 14 lines poem. Okay, if a poem has 14 lines means that is known as a sonnet. Okay, he wrote novels and plays, dramas, okay, and many essays on science. Okay, he introduced sonnet form in Tamil, wrote novels and plays, and many essays on science. But tragically, that is sadly, unfortunately, and unexpectedly, he died at the young age of 33. Next, we will see Maraimalai Adigal. Next, we will see Maraimalai Adigal. Okay. Maraimalai Adigal is considered the father of Tamil linguistic purism. He founded Thani Tamil Iyakam. That's Tamil words. Okay, Tamil words. That is pure Tamil movement. That is English. He wrote commentaries, Vilakaurai, on the Sangam texts, Pattinapalai and Mullaipaattu. He worked in a journal, Siddhanta Deepika. He worked as a Tamil teacher in the Madras Christian College. He liked the non-Brahmin movement. He liked. His teachers P. Sundaranar and Somasundara Nayagar. Somasundara Nayagar were key influences in his life. Because of these teachers, his life changed. Okay. Next, Tani Tamil Iyakam, Pure Tamil Iyakam, Pure Tamil movement. Maraimalai Adigal promoted the use of pure Tamil words. Okay, promoted the use of pure Tamil words and removal of the Sanskrit influence from Tamil language. Okay, removal of the Sanskrit influence from Tamil language. This Tani Tamil Iyakam made a great impact on Tamil culture, particularly in language and literature. Okay, he had a daughter Neelambigai. He had a daughter, Maraimalai Adigal had a daughter Neelambigai. Neelambigai was mainly responsible for the foundation of Tani Tamil Iyakam. Okay, foundation of Tani Tamil Iyakam. He changed his own name Vedachalam. Okay, changed his Maraimalai Adigal changed his own name. His original name was Vedachalam, and he changed that name Vedachalam and adopted a pure Tamil name Maraimalai Adigal. Maraimalai Adigal. His journal's name was Jnanasaharam. Jnanasaharam. It was renamed Aruvikadal. Jnanasaharam was renamed as Aruvikadal. His institution was Samarasa Sanmarga Sangam. Samarasa Sanmarga Sangam. But it was renamed Podunilai Kalagam. Podunilai Kalagam. So Samarasa Sanmarga Sangam renamed Podunilai Kalagam. Neelambigai compiled a dictionary. It provided pure Tamil words equivalent to Sanskrit words. Okay, Neelambigai, the daughter of Maraimalai Adigal, compiled a dictionary. It provided pure Tamil words equivalent to Sanskrit words. Okay, children, with this I finish today's session. I will meet you in the next session with the remaining part of the lesson. Okay, thank you, children. Bye. Take care now.